Holy moly. Good morning. I wasn't sure if I was live or not. Can everybody see me okay? I can't see you. Hurricane Moon, good morning. Oh my gosh, 3 a.m. 3 a.m. in the afternoon. 3 p.m. maybe? You're in Great Britain. So yeah, afternoon. Yeah. And Squire Telecaster, good morning. How are the fires treating you? I hope you're not in all that involved in that. That's I just watched the news last night right before I went to bed, and wow, I forgot how many square miles of fires. But yeah, this is take two. Something on the picture on my end didn't look right, so I've got my camera. The little Logitech doesn't, it's got that little clip that kind of sits on top of your laptop, and it doesn't. I don't know if I dropped it or something. I'm not sure, but it doesn't quite work. So I have it on a tripod that's tethered to the back of the computer. So if I move the table, everything moves. And Deja Voodoo. Wow, I have Australia and Great Britain here. Of course, it's what time is it for you, Deja Voodoo? What? I do that too, Hurricane. Oh, you're down south. Okay, that's right. I watched one of Music Therapy Laz's videos the other day, and oh, 2019 chaos. Hey there, you're Great Britain also. I think I don't know. You're 11:30 at night, Deja Voodoo. Wow, yeah, okay. Well, it is 1 minute till 7 a.m. here in Oregon. I just got up early. I went to bed at like 1:30 or something and just woke up wide awake. I took a nap yesterday. It kind of screwed my sleep up, I think. About midnight and 30 minutes. Wow. Yeah. Lisa, welcome. Where are you at, Lisa? Are you in the States or elsewhere? I think for some reason I want to think the States because a friend of yours referred me to your channel, made me think that maybe you were all, this is a so-called jazz master, but it's missing, it's one of those old black tops from 2000, maybe 2000. When are the black tops came out? 2012, somewhere in there, with P90s. And I just did another video with P90 saying how much I liked this other guitar's P90, and I said, gee, I'm trying to think of what other guitars I had with P90s. Then I remembered, I know I have a Tele with them, and this one, and I haven't played this one in ages, so I think it needs I think it needs a little work, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's in tune pretty well. Yeah, the black tops were real inexpensive. I'm going to do a video on this one, so I pulled it out. Um, inexpensive made in Mexico, and it doesn't have a screw-in whammy bar. So I'm either doing something wrong or, well, maybe it does have a screw-in whammy bar. Let's test that out. It didn't feel like it wanted to screw in. It felt like it, probably just me. Yeah, it's not seating in there quite right or something. Chaos, no, not with a P rail, but I did get to play, oh, it is a screw-in whammy bar. I didn't realize. It didn't, when the way it fit in so deep, I thought that's just it. It just pops in. I played a Joe Naylor, I played a Reverend back, well, long before. No, that does not screw in. Yeah, there's no screws there. That's interesting. Okay. It just sits in there, and if you aim it the wrong way, you're in trouble. I played up in Portland. And I don't remember the model, but it had rail hammers, which was Joe Naylor's. I don't know if it's his version of a P rail or if he was the original and P rails came after that. But I played the rail hammer briefly in a store up in Portland and liked it. So I thought about buying if I ever run into a used Reverend with a rail hammer. I love Reverend pickups generally. Their P90 I thought was every bit as good as most of the others. The Guild P90 is my favorite for jazzy sort of clean. I don't know. It dirties up okay too. Hi, Rick. I just joked on my latest video that's coming out later is uh, I do often I'll do a Christmas kind of a Christmas gig or a Christmas CD or something for family and friends, and sometimes even do a little one man kind of thing, just doing chordal noodling for some folks. And I realized all the backing tracks I've been using I wasn't that fond of, so I decided this year I'm going to redo all my backing tracks. What was I thinking? Man, what a chore that is, because you got to go into Band in the Box and rearrange everything and kind of rewrite. So I've gotten started. I do like Band in the Box because it gives you you just once you get it done, you just print out a chord sheet, so you've got the chords. You'll never forget. Take that with you. You won't forget what key things are in. Oh, Sean, good morning. I almost brought out a bass this morning. I have my little Gretsch, I don't even know what it's called, mini jet bass, short scale, sitting over here, and a Squier. Yeah, most of my life I've been that way too. Hurricane. I don't really. I've learned to read music probably 3 times, and actually reading music is like, okay, that's every good boy. That's an E. That's a B. And I never get very good. Now you watch Lori Mishmash, and she plays while she reads. And that, oh man, I think that would be pretty cool. These are just chord charts, though. So this just shows you every, you know, show how to follow the chords. There's no with, so you have to remember. Yeah, Rick, all those old ones are the ones that I have are all MIDI, and they're still useful. You can bring them into the new band in the box, and then convert every you can convert each instrument to a real instrument, and it sounds really good. And that backing track I was playing on the intro wasn't Christmas, but it was a bossa thing, but that was all band in the box. The only thing you can't convert is the melody. I don't that I know, at least not that I know of. You can create a solo that's a real instrument, but now the software synthesizers are so good. I had a piano melody line, and I ran it through a Steinway. I forget. I think it was Garriton software synthesizer, and I ran it through a Steinway synthesizer, and I'm sure it didn't sound like a Steinway, but it sounded really quite good. Lori, good morning. I was just I was just talking about you. Somebody was asking. I was showing my Christmas chord charts that I can do off a band in the box, and somebody said, "What is that foreign that foreign writing?" and it's not the actual sheet music. And I was saying, "Well, I don't really read. Certainly not." Ah, yes, Deja, it's about that time, isn't it? Yeah, I just work off chord charts and then figure the melody out by ear. Christmas jazz is kind of weird because I'm not really a jazz player, so um, in order to make it jazzy, I have to learn it in the very old traditional. I have to learn the basic melody and then think, well, what can I do there? What little arpeggio? Yeah, the worst thing, Rick, for me on Band in the Box are the endings. Sometimes it just does an ending on its own. I don't understand the ending notation stuff. Lori, you would love Band in the Box. It'll play the piano for you. And you just write in the chords to the song and tell it what instruments you want and what style of song you want, whether it's pop or jazz or country or whatever, and it creates the song for you. And then, so like what I do is I let them play and while I play a melody. So, yeah. Your barbecue portion via FedEx. I missed something there. The beach sounds like a better deal, Lori. That sounds like a good deal. Yeah, that I haven't been over to the beach really. Well, I guess I was way back always, but um, in spring while you could still get there, and I was there last winter. But I'm about an hour away from the beach here, and then about an hour away from the Cascades. So I'm in a good position. I can get to anywhere in about an hour. Janice, what's going on with your fingers? They're hurting from playing too much, or they're just hurting? Ah, you were doing some barbecue. Yeah, cool. School stuff's in every store. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I haven't figured out I don't know that they've fully figured out what they're going to do here in Oregon. Um, I think they're handling it at the state level, I think, and that must have been before you recorded, Lori, because I thought that video was I forgot all about that song. I heard another Little River band tune a week ago and said, "Man, they were." My drummer turned me on to them. Said, "These are all studio cats from Australia, and they're really good." And they were. I thought they were a really well written song. But I saw another song, and I don't remember what that is now either. Just a week or so ago, and while I was watching that, I was thinking, what's that other song? And then you did it. So yeah. Ah, and the Mo Sparrow. Yeah, yeah, that's a fun bass. I pull it out like twice a year and beat up on it. Um, Good morning, Simon. No, not good morning. Let me think now. Good afternoon, Simon. We have folks from Australia, folks from UK, and here stateside. That whatever that pickup is, it's a Duncan pickup. It sounds no nails on that recording. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They just had, and I don't know anything more. I never had any of their stuff in my collection, but just their hits. They played at our county fair about 5 years ago. My drummer friend said that there was like one or two original guys it left in it, but you have a good time at the beach, Lori. We'll see you later. We'll see you around. I pretty well decided. I don't regret buying this because they were so. I don't remember what I paid for it. Fender black tops made in Mexico, but it's got the plug-in right in the front here. I'm gonna do a video on it anyway, and if you lean it forward, there's no. The whammy bar does not clip in there. And that's problematic. So I'm always leaning it forward. It'd be easy to pop it out and have it go flying, I would think. Sean, we'll see you later. I'm going to have some crummy basses up. One you'll like. It's going to be a Squier with changed out pickups. I didn't do it. I bought it used for dirt cheap. But I got just my. I've only got about 5 really not high quality basses at all. So, ah, Hurricane, yeah. You have to push it in kind of hard. I gave it a pretty good push. Yeah, it doesn't go in anymore. Well, now it's staying pretty good. Okay. So there must be some sort of like a rubberized gasket or maybe something in there. Yeah, they're nice looking. I just always wanted a Jazz Master for the fun of it. I used to have a Jaguar, a 60, what was that? It was a CBS, I'm pretty sure, a 68. And I liked it, but I could never remember. I'd play it off and on, and I could never remember what all those buttons and switches did. So um, this is just a real simplified 3-way switch kind of thing. Plays great though. Yeah, that seemed to work. It's staying in there now. So I don't know what they're. If something breaks on it, I'm not paying to have it fixed. I know that. I just hate though that it plugs in the front instead of on the bottom. So, and I don't think you can see it, but even on this one, I've not taken that plastic off. Yeah, it plays good though. I'm surprised how good it. I do not, and the Hurricane Moon. I don't have all on our. We call it a garage, but it's kind of a workshop carport. Just to have it built, put in an extra like a storage unit that has it has electricity to it, so we can watch the humidity and watch the temperature and all that kind of stuff, and have a lot of stuff in there. So I keep most of my guitars in sort of in storage, and pull them out as I need them, and then they go back. And if it's not one that I use regularly, I probably have like 4 or 5 guitars that I use regularly. And then sometimes I think, oh, that guitar will be great for this song. So no, I don't. And where I record here, this is just a spare room, and what you're seeing here is the sort of, it's a walk-in closet, an open closet that's actually over, it's part of the stairwell. It's the upper part overhanging the stairwell. And going downstairs, that's the wall I'd bump my head into. And this, so I just keep my CDs there. And so the back bedroom is, you're seeing almost the entire width of the bedroom here. I mean, I got one other little table over there, but I mean, it's not, I'm not sure what it is. I guess it's 10 foot wide by, it's long. It's the width of the house, 20 foot long. It's an old house, so. Yeah, and we don't have to worry too much about humidity. It's really interesting when people talk about humidity affecting guitars that here in Oregon, we may have a drier climate in winter inside your home because it's 90% humidity and raining outside. So we lock ourselves indoors and turn the heat up, and it really gets dry inside. So um, when I worked in healthcare, we saw clients that had dry skin problems as much, probably more in wintertime than we did in summer because they'd have the heat on and it would really dry it out. Exactly, Moon. Yeah, this is. I'm convinced this. I've never looked at. I don't know what the real plans were for a house like this, but I suspect it was an attic, and they decided to build the second floor on. And um, so, yeah, and this back room is not the master bedroom. Is the rest of the front of the house? That thing's huge, you know. So, where are you at, Chaos? Humidity is heck to control. Oh, I have a window. I'm lucky. Wow. Yeah. I haven't been able to do videos though because we've had a heat wave up at close to 100 degrees here. What would that be in Celsius? Like 37, 38 degrees. You're in Canada, and you got a lot of. Are you close to like a lot of like big lakes or close to the ocean or something? I've heard here that over at the coast it's really hard to control community. Yeah, there goes the whammy bar. I have to do some research and figure that out. It just does not want to stay in there, even if I press the heck out of it. So. Yeah. So in the summertime, we open our windows and we let so sometimes the humidity in the house will actually go up in summertime. We've had really, really dry, hot weather here lately, and I noticed the humidity got down to 23% um, last week. It's cooled off now. Now it'll go up to 30 to 40%, even with the sun out. I've never figured out if I like the dots better than the. I mean, a couple I have the big blocks, And on big jazz boxes, I kind of like them. I've heard other people complain that they don't feel good under their fingers, and I'm not. I don't think I'm good enough to. I suppose if you were playing, trying to bend a note, maybe. Yeah, sometimes here it can be. I've heard tell that people have problems if they keep their house really warm. The humidity, it's just really bone dry in the house. It'll be raining like heck outside, like cats and dogs, because we get about well, in Western Oregon, we're about 40 inches of rain a year. Just depends where you're at. Good point, Simon. Yeah, I know that some guitars don't have any like markings on top, and that would drive me a little bit goofy, I think. Yeah, now if you go here in Oregon, if you go over to Central Oregon, right in the middle of the state and further east, Central Oregon's kind of an in between. It's pretty dry. They get very little rain, but they get some snow because they're higher elevations. And then you go further east than that, it's just high desert, and it's really bone dry. And out in the desert, there's little nooks and crannies or little valleys that are a little more green, but pretty dry out there. That is it's an old Bee Gees song. I keep thinking about doing it as an instrumental. Yeah, I'm stealing a little bit of that. I can't think of the name of it though for the life of me. I played it as a kid. We actually did that song. To Love Somebody, maybe? Okay, Chaos. We'll see you later. Yeah, feel free to stop by. I just happened to wake up early and I thought, well, I'll do a little live stream. I got a video coming out here in about an hour and a half. So we'll see you in the chats, Chaos, and anybody else. So that's a Jazzmaster Access. Yeah, it's a old blacktop Fender from whenever they made blacktops, 2012ish. And I think I'm just addicted to P90s now. I just love the tone of almost any guitar I play with P90s. Although on my guilds, those P90s sound to me a cut above the rest of them, you know. And for rock and roll, on my Reverend, I only have one Reverend with one P90 in the bridge position. It's really made for, it's a Sensei Junior. It's really made to rock, and it really does. I think their P90s are maybe a pinch hotter, but yeah, good point. I looked right at that in the picture there. That's right. Yeah, a P90 and a humbucker, and I love that. I love that. I love it in the middle position. You know. Of course, I'm playing real clean now. Yeah, I think I got a telly. I don't know if I've done a show and tell with it or not with a P90. I don't remember if I've done that one yet or not. But Sunday, you got to go too, Moon. Okay, we'll see you later. Yeah, I'm just firing it up to say hi to everybody. Now that it's cooled down, I think we got a little cooler weather for most of the next week. A high of 90 maybe one day. I don't know what that would be. I've never owned an SG. Boy, I've come so close so many times. I a friend of mine from way back bought his SG, I think in like 72 or so, and he put DiMarzios in them way back when he was one of the first person I'd ever heard of. Like, you changed the pickups, really? That's why we buy Gibsons and high-end guitars, because they have good pickups. But it was still pretty. It was just becoming a thing back then. So, and he kept the original pickups, so that was smart. Yeah, I like Tellys. I've kind of moved away from them. Well, I play almost all sitting down now, but they, I like the simplicity of a Telly. There's nothing to worry about going. I mean, it's. Oh, SG, I thought you said you'd. Oh, okay. I didn't get the last part until last year and this year. Yeah, you didn't have an SG, so now you have four of them. Really? Wow, cool. Yeah, I I'm kind of I'm upset with Gibson because of all their quality control issues. You know that they pride themselves in making really nice high end guitars, and then they put out. I told that story. I'm not going to tell it again, but really lousy double cut, um, like a double cut Les Paul Jr. with one pickup with a P90, and with just terrible fretwork. I mean, unplayable. And I thought, why are they doing that? You know. But if you buy that, if you move up a level or two, am I actually going to have a one of those type of guitars that I broke down and bought years ago? I had to have a Flying V, so I've got a Flying V. It's one of those faded ones, and it sounds okay and it plays okay. I need to do. Oh, I haven't played it in a few years, so I'll have to dig it out and see how but the fretwork was pretty rough on it. So, um, and so as much as I like the P90 on the Les Paul Jr. on the double cut, when you know, I got that Reverend Sensei with it's a double cut with a P90, different vibe to it altogether. And man alive, that P90 was I thought a lot better actually. Yeah, I mean, you think they would bring the lower end up a little bit and the higher end, figure out a way to make them a little bit more affordable. Brian S., good morning and welcome. Oh, on the Gibsons, it's hit and miss from 2014 to 20. Really? Wow, that's something. And I've heard that about so many other guitars too. That these are the years to buy. Even made in Mexico Squires, people say, well, the 92s and 3s are not very good. They're pretty good in 94 and 5 or something like that. And, you know, I say, on those, you just want to play them. And is Epiphone? Well, I railed against Epiphone for years and years and years. I tried Dots and Sheridans back before they came out with these new models that they just came out with. And they all had something. I would have had to do work on every one of them. The neck was goofy, bad fretwork. A couple of them just had necks that looked like you were out on the ocean. And but I did buy two. I bought that Johnny A, which is supposed to be their higher end, and it plays really well, and it sounds really well, and it stays in tune, and the fretwork is great. So I can't. There's not much to complain about there. And then the other one was the Epiphone, and it came with Gibson 57 humbuckers in an Epiphone. So that was I like it. And the other one was the Swingster, which has the they're just that one I hand picked because the guitar shop at the time didn't like it, and they did all the fretwork themselves, and they set the neck, and they did all sorts of little changed the strings out from the factory. And an ES 175, I've thought about picking up one of those Epi 175s, but I had a Gibson 165, and it's the one decent guitar, even though it's all laminates. It's the one decent guitar I kind of regret selling, but I when I get into more expensive guitars, I'm afraid I'm going to scratch them, so I play them in a real stiff fashion, and I don't want to go to the beach because I got to stay home and watch the guitar. It's the best one you've ever played. Wow, cool. That's good news. Yeah. Yeah, on that Swingster, it's got the push-pull single coil cut thing, and of course you just pull the knob. You just pull the knob out, and the knob comes off. And that was the best. That was the best example of that guitar I could find. Now, what is the Muse? Is that a line of Epiphones? That's a Les Paul. The Muse is a certain level of their builds or something. Well, that was the other thing on the old Epiphones. They used really inexpensive switches, and every one on both the Johnny A is giving me a little trouble now, and the Swingster right away gave me trouble. And I replaced it, but I replaced it with a pretty much an identical switch, and now it's giving me trouble. So, I mean, here this guitar, and those were in the cases for like 6, 7 years, and this guitar's been in its case, and there's no switch problem at all. So somehow Fender has that down in their less expensive guitars. So that's a new line. That's the higher level ones. I'm not sure, but it was good to hear that Epiphone. Although, for me, if you watched any of my videos, there's no real hollow bodies on the Epiphone website anymore, or I haven't looked for a few weeks now. Um, uh, the 175's gone, and I, they might make the Swingster still, but I already have one, so um, I was hoping they would. I want an ES 295, even an Epiphone. I'm not going to pay the money for the Gibson, but oh, to switch it out of phase, that's cool. That's interesting. Yeah, I've craved a 175. I mean, I had a 165, which was good enough for me. Yeah, their prices on their jazz box, and people still complain about sometimes even the quality on on some of their jazz boxes. So um, compared to other companies that make good products for way less. So so I've been looking. I don't need another jazz box, but for an all laminate sort of one, I would probably go with a low end Peerless. Probably, I would look at those. Well, you can't look at them because there's only two dealers in the U.S. But and the Eastmans, boy, they've upped their game. I remember when they first came out and how crummy they were. They were just everything was wrong. Electronics were bad, the fretwork was bad, and to me they really damaged themselves. So I don't ever. Now I hear they're actually really good at the mid range and on up. I've heard that they use real thin woods on the lower end ones and stuff like that. But they're made in China, and I'm just real leery of buying. I do like buying all the Korean stuff has been really good. All those guilds are made in Korea. I'm that way too, Access. I'm that. I even if it's not 2000, if you're selling it and claiming it's a guitar, it better be a reasonably playable guitar. And you know, even if it's 500, I better not have to take it in and say, please grind down all the frets, switch out the switch. These pickups suck. Give me new pickups. At some point, you say it's a great guitar if you just replace the neck and body and the pickups. It's a really good guitar. For an ES 335, on the really really low end, I have one of those inexpensive Gretsch Streamliners, 550 US dollars. And I got a video up on it. It's the Torino green one, and it doesn't have a 335 sound. It's a little different than a 335, but it's got a great sound. It's amazing to me what they're making. I mean, I'm sure they're all made in Indonesia, but also I have, what else do I have? I don't think I have much in the way of 335. Oh, a Schecter Corsair. Mine has a Bigsby, and I don't know if you can get them without a Bigsby. I don't know if they make them anymore. I know they made a couple signature models where the person didn't want signatures by people I never heard of. You know, I wasn't familiar with who the player was, but they didn't want a Bigsby, so they made a version of it without a Bigsby. And I like Schecters. I think I'm impressed with their quality. I don't know if they still do it or not. In the old days, they had them imported in, and then they went over, just much like Reverend does. They had them imported in, and then they did all the setups right here in the States, so everything was set up. Squire, I do not have an Ibanez Artist. I don't know quite what that is. I don't, to my knowledge, the only Ibanez I have is 3 jazz boxes that are all the Art Core series, and I have a solid one with a Floyd RG 220. It's the only guitar I own. Yeah, I always like. I haven't played it in 10 years. I'm gonna dig it out, and I just thought the Schecters back in the day were pretty good. I was impressed with how well their quality control was. So I have a Schecter made a hollow body jazz box years ago, so that I would have loved to have seen and come across. Um, so I have, I think, 3 Schecters, and they're all good. When I got back into playing electric, the first electric, or at least one of the first electrics, was a Schecter, a C1. I did a video on that, and that thing still, here we're 20 years down the road, and that thing still kicks it, you know. Duncan design pickups. I know most people aren't real fond of those. Uh, oh, that's right. I forgot about that Access. Yes, the gold top Les Paul. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see because I've only looked at a couple of. I saw a, I don't know what it was. It was like a little. Was it stereo? Tube amplifier for like $100, 100 and something. I don't remember what the. I want to say it was 100 watts, but I might be off on that. Yeah, most of them they made the standard ones were with a Bigsby, and then they may have made them without a Bigsby down the road. But I know they had a signature model without a Bigsby. But I almost bought one, but the signature model only came in white, and that's just not my thing. It's in Kansas City. So it's on a tracking. You're getting it any time now. Yeah, the Gibson Jazz boxes for that money. You know, the Herb Ellis was all laminate, and right before they took it off their website, of course, Herb died, and they were 27 or 2,800 new. I thought, man, I can get me some laminate guitar for that much money and get an amp and a guitar and amp. So hope I missed one. Yeah, yeah, you were talking to Tex about the Gibsons, yeah. I don't know about other 335s. You know, the DN I really was considering them. And when Sweetwater had their online Gear Fest this year, uh, I noticed they had a bunch of them on discount as kind of factory discounts. And Sweetwater would have pictures and show what's exactly wrong. And a bunch of them had some either separation right here or a little finish flaw right on the top of the neck. And it was like out of all of them, a bunch of them had that. And I thought, oh. So I decided, because I was really considering that, and I thought, well, it sounds like maybe there's a quality control thing there too, but some of them sure look nice. Fleor high gain pickups on it. Huh. I've not heard of those. But I know what the sound you're talking about when you say Ace. So, yeah. Yeah, and I know D'Angelico make a 335-ish. With the quality, I mean, if the Epiphones have really upped their quality, I mean, I would certainly look at I don't know what models they have available this year, Sheridan type models, or um, what was the one they came out with a few years ago? It was a signature, Gary Clark. I looked at that a number of times, played it a couple times. That was one of the few I came very close to buying, so or thought about it anyway. But, you buy a guitar and it has problems, and then you buy another one and it has a similar problem or something like that, and you're buying on the higher end level of them. You're very hesitant to go back. And so I hope Epiphone has, I'm waiting just to see down the road. Of course, a lot of people just loved Epiphone even back before the new ones came out, and I just had not had great luck with them at all. So I hope they have up their back in the 60s, there wasn't really much difference between the Epiphones um, and the Gibsons. Uh, there might have been, but we couldn't. Price wise, they were all about the same, and their amps were identical, except the Gibsons were brown and the Epiphones were gray. So, um, oh, new comments down below. Oh, see, I keep missing things. Back then they were I don't know what they are now, but back then they were, I think Gibson bought them in I want to say 57. But Simon, but they were both owned by Chicago Music, and then they also had a much lesser expensive brand called Kalamazoo that was also part of their branding. Yeah, the Sirs. Hey, didn't you just get a Sir, Brian? Yeah, you did. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have little doubt, man. I see Pete Thorne playing his. I almost bought. I tell you, man, gas is bad. I mean, I saw Pete Thorne's and I thought, there's no way I'm spending that money for a brand new guitar. And then Harley Benton came out with their copycat version, and the Pete Thorne gold top and the blue one just knocked my socks off. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get a Harley Benton, and I'm glad I didn't. Uh, yeah, back in the '60s, they were both owned by Chicago Music, so they. 1900. Wow. That's, I'm just so darn cheap. That's just for me. That's when we get up to that money. I think the most expensive guitar I have right now was around 1500, and I got rid of all my high-end Gibsons because I just, oh, really, a little too rounded. I may have played a Sir, come to think of it. We have a great shop down in Eugene, Mackenzie River Music, that's kind of a vintage guitar shop. And I think I played a Sir in there. I played a lot of guitars I would have never been able to play. The actual Gibson Johnny A's, they had a couple of them come through, one hardtail and the other one with the Bigsby. I got to play both of them. And they had a couple Tom Andersons come through that I played that, um, they were great. Oh, you sold your PRS. I didn't realize that. Okay. Oh, I'm sure it is. I bet it is. But the CE was pretty darn good, wasn't it? At What's the price on those? They're more than the well, new. They're more than the S2s. So they must be about CE's new must be around the 2000, 2200 range because the S2s are like I think they're mostly 16, 17 now. I haven't looked for ages, so I could be way off. A Sunday afternoon. If I put my cursor over the chat, it blocks out whatever message pops up. So I have to be, they're 2200 now. Oh, wow. I guessed right. Yeah. I could never go to the beach again. I would have to stay home and watch the guitar. Yeah. Sunny afternoon. That was a great song. I don't know if there was any band out of the, I don't know. Well, of course there was. There was lots of them probably, but I mean, the Kinks really had a different, their early stuff was just that early Dave Davies rock and roll stuff. And then later some much more mellow stuff. Brian, I think you're smart. Get two or three that you really love. Excuse me. It must be daytime. I'm starting to get sniffly. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of them that I don't love, but I just find them fascinating. So I have way too many, obviously, and a few that I love. On the low end, I mean, I think you can get guitars you really, really love. Um, my guilds, I love. I actually love. I mean, I have a bunch of SEs, and I started off buying one used and thought, well, that one's a little better. I'll buy it. And then pretty soon you got five of them. But those to me play really impressively well for the money. And I haven't gotten any new ones for quite a while though on the Fender front. Um, wow, yeah, it's been quite a few years since I bought a new Fender Tele or a made in Mexico hat. So oh, there we go. New comments down below. See, BGH, good morning. I'm just getting ready to sign off. I've gone over an hour. I always say I'm going to go just under an hour. Yeah, Brian, that's me too. I think about, I know at least half of mine are. Well, folks, I'm stuffing up. The sun's coming out. It's another great allergy day here in Oregon. So I think I'm going to check out. And I hope you all have a good day and a safe day. It's Sunday. If you're not working, go do something a little fun for yourself. A drive, a bike ride, a good brisk walk around town where you're safe. So y'all have a good day, okay? Thanks for coming by. I appreciate the visit, and um, I'll advertise. I got a new video coming out here in an hour on a Guild T50 Slim that has over time become uh, the Indy 500 is today. Really, I did not know that. I'm so used to it being at Memorial Day back in May, and yeah, I think the Kentucky Derby's coming up too. Everything's upside down, but we will get by. I have no doubt. So you all have a good day, and we will talk to you later. And I'll see you all, I hope, in the chats. And I want to give a quick shout out to Fender Guru. If you don't watch Metalhead Hippies, if you want to see Metalhead Hippies stuff, he's always bringing in some new people to show videos, and it's always quite interesting. I do it on Sunday nights. He has a couple of shows, and so go see him. But on Saturday nights, most of the time, Simon Williams in here and Andrew Fender Guru on Fender Guru's channel. They do a live chat about, and it's British blues and beyond, and um, it's all stuff that I grew up with that I get, and I love it. So it's a very good chat on Saturday night U.S. Well, Pacific time it's 10:30, so Eastern time 1:30 in the morning, and I'm not sure what time. Well, early Sunday morning UK and Sunday afternoon New Zealand, I think. So anyway, Fender Guru, check that out. It's a good, it's well worth a watch and it's a great conversation. We'll talk to you all later. Bye bye.